Welcome Aries Venus to your 777 reading. I am Max and we're going to get started straight away. So if you haven't seen these readings before, then I suggest you watch the intro video just to explain how these readings work. But just so you're aware, I'm going to pull I'm going to pull 12 cards from this deck. This is a tarot deck, and then I'm going to do 2 cards from the shaman deck with regards to guidance. So let's talk a little bit about having your Venus in the sign of Aries. So the best way to put it is, if you've watched Game of Thrones and you know the character Khaleesi, that's probably the best way to sum it up. You are someone who will fight for what you love, very caring, very generous. But if people disrespect you, you are not afraid to call them out. And that is really good. Sometimes people need to be put into their place. This whole thing about this Hollywood idea about spirituality is about people being passive and, it's all about love. It is about love at the end of the day. But what people don't understand is that sometimes love needs to be fought for, and fought for the people that you love. I've got quite a lot of cards here. Let me just get them all together as they come out. 2, 4, 6, 8. 3 more. So that's what it's like to have the Venus in Aries. I mean, you love excitement when it comes to life. So I should have explained to you first in regards to what Venus means. So Venus is the planet about love and resources. So it's basically what you value. It can be love within a relationship, can be love to work. Love comes in many forms. And then when you couple that with Aries, which is a sign that's about positivity, it's about being a natural born leader, and it's also the sign of war, and that's where Khaleesi comes in. Alright, I have got your cards. Let's start talking about it. So here they are on the side there. So to start with, we have the Knight of Cups in reverse and the Queen of Swords in reverse. So a bit of a difficult energy to start with, to be honest with you. You have someone who, whether you feel like this is yourself, this is the energy that's in and around you. So whether you feel like this is you or someone that you're dealing with, someone that's being very harsh with their words, being very cold and very much... the Queen of Swords in reverse. Someone who's being very cold, maybe being a bit harsh with their words, very cutthroat. And then we also have the Knight of Cups. So they're actually taking action with this. So this energy, the Knight of Cups in reverse, is basically someone who's being emotionally distant, or could be emotionally manipulative with their actions. So just be mindful of this energy and just self-reflect if you feel like you've gotten to this kind of energy. What I feel like as well in the next 2 cards is that perhaps in this situation you feel abandoned. So we've got the 5 of Pentacles upright. That talks about abandonment. That could talk about financial loss, some insecurity. But you have the Judgment, a major arcana coming in, and this Judgment is really about you making the right decision, whether you're going to give a situation a second chance. So whether this is a third party or someone that you're dealing with that is giving you a bit of it's like it's a bit of chaotic energy happening, and it's making you feel like there's been some either financial loss or abandonment, but the Judgment's coming in to say, hey, are we going to give this situation a second chance? We're going to make a judgment call. It's you making the judgment call for this situation. So it's not you judging another person, it's you saying, okay, this is what this person is like. I need to make a call on this, basically, because it's making me feel like I'm losing, whether it's your finances, whether it's you feeling abandoned. It's a bit of bit of harsh energy to start the reading, but all energy is always temporary. So let's look at the next card. We've got a Tower moment coming in, as well as the Seven of Cups. So the Seven of Cups upright talks about a lot of options. You're seeing a lot of options becoming available to you. Now, some might feel promising and some might be some concerning. Just make sure that you're grounding yourself as well, because this can also mean a bit of like a daydream card. But you've got the Tower coming in. So the Tower represents a sudden change in a situation. It's where the universe comes in and says, okay, we can see that you're in a stagnant situation. We're going to shake things up. So it is a positive card. It might not feel like it at the time because it might be a sudden change that you were not expecting, but it's always for the better. It's always for the better, because you can't stay in this situation that is making you feel trapped, or just making you sit there and daydreaming of what could be. So we've got some significant change coming, so be on the lookout for that. And when I mean be on the lookout, let it reveal itself. Don't worry too much and keep looking over your shoulders. Just let the universe do its work, and once it's revealed, you'll be like, okay, this is the change that needed to happen. And you'll look back at it and thank it once it's over. We have the Hermit and the King of Wands. So the Hermit is about taking a step back. It's like, okay, the world is getting a little bit too chaotic for me to deal with. I'm going to go internal. So perhaps taking up meditation, that can be very helpful in this state, learning about meditation if you haven't done it in the past, and not pressuring yourself too much. So I would say with the King of Wands, this is someone who goes after what they want. They are full blazing forward. It's about fire, it's about passion, it's about igniting. So what you need to do. That's what it's telling me. You know what your goals are, you know what your passions are, but it's about taking that step back and rejuvenating yourself, so you can get back out there and achieve your goals. We have the Seven of Wands upright, and we've also got the Strength. So this is about having inner strength. I can tell in this situation, you can see here he's holding it's kind of like a medallion or something along those lines. It's gold. But that's what you holding the truth. So you might feel like people are trying to reach you, or there's a bit of a battle, but you're the winner because you're holding the truth in this situation. And you just got to have that inner strength to keep you going. And then we have the Empress and the Ten of Cups in reverse. So I guess in this situation, you're not feeling emotionally fulfilled, because we've got this is the only Cups card apart from the Seven of Cups. No, the Seven of Cups was upright, and then we had the Knight of Cups in reverse. Okay, so perhaps upright, this means that you've got emotional fulfillment, whether that's with yourself or a happy family. In reverse, it suggests you're not feeling that at this point in time. But we do have the Empress upright, so this is actually positive. So although you might not feel like the family's all together, or you're just not feeling emotionally fulfilled within yourself, you have the Empress. So the Empress means that someone, and it's not a gender specific card, so if you're a male, for example, the Empress is actually an energy that you need in order to nurture yourself and plant those seeds. So this is someone who has planted the seeds. Okay, I've done what I can in this situation. It has not come to fruition, but you've done the right thing, and that's what I mentioned with regards to the Seven of Wands. You have done the right thing for yourself and perhaps the people around you. Maybe that's not being noticed at this time, but with the Hermit, you're taking that step back. With the Empress, you're like, okay, I've planted the right seeds, and maybe in time, the people or the situation will then reveal itself, and the good energy that you have put out there will come into fruition. So the seeds that you have planted will come into fruition. But let's get some guidance for you from the Shaman deck. So I'm just going to pull 2 cards from this deck for you. I'm going to read word for word what these cards mean and how it's going to guide you in this situation. Okay, I'm going to get this card that's sticking out, and we've got another one here. All right. So we have the Spirit of the River, movement toward adventure, and then Jeweled Web, connectivity. Let's start with the Spirit of the River. That is card number 50. So Spirit of the River, this is about movement toward adventure, addiction to problems, and allowing and trusting the current. So the Spirit of the River invites you to step into the flow, to stop swimming against or avoiding the current. Allow the waters to carry you downstream, away from eddies and whirlpools. It's time to heed the call of a new adventure waiting for you. Stop working on the problem for a while. The issue is not what it seems. It is your addiction to fixing what has gone bad that is consuming so much of your time. Work to create a greater good, and the bad will resolve itself on its own. There is nothing that you can accomplish with more efforting, as the situation in your life right now are subject to forces beyond your control. Like I said, with regards to the tower coming in, this is what the universe is going to do. They'll resolve the bad for you, even though it might feel turbulent at this point in time. Recognize this, step back, and trust the flow. There is no loss of face or lack of honor or integrity. It is simply the way things are at this moment. When this card appears, it is time to say yes to the next leg of your journey. Your life is like a river, inevitably and flowing to the sea, which is your divine destination. Be fearless and release yourself to the rushing water in the middle of the stream. Whatever it is you are holding on to, the feeling, the thoughts, the beliefs about how things are or how they should be or could be, can be easily fixed with the power of the Spirit of the River. Simply let go and enjoy the thrill of the ride. All will be well. It's a very positive message for your reading. Now let's do the next card, which is the Jeweled Web, connectivity. So connectivity, no separation, the feeling state. Approaching any oracle requires you to come in with certain expectations. You're either looking for confirmation of what you already know or attempting to shed light on what eludes you on the obvious path you're on. You're asking whether you will reach a desired goal of some kind. You're rarely able to see beyond memory or projection, and so naturally, everyone comes to the oracle with a narrow perception of what's possible. Imagine that the answer to your question is not about landing at a particular destination, meeting a goal, connecting to a specific lover, reaching an end game, or experiencing anything specific. Instead, you discover a shimmering web of jewels you didn't know existed. The world is interconnected in a living web of energy. It is impossible to know how any of it works, but know this: what is in your highest good is a sparkling jewel that lights up for you among this web of possibilities. You just need to know how you want to feel and choose it consciously. Take your focus off getting anywhere. Practice feeling and being in a place where your desired experience has already come to pass. Who will you be when this is true for you? Can you be that now? Feel that now? Practice that. The better you know your path within the web of life, the more it will light up for you. It is celebrating you already. Well, there we go, Aries Venus. You have been read, and I hope something in this reading resonated for you. As always, much love and take care.